Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I I'm enjoying doing this again. I'm glad we got back on this pathway and this communication process. I've got a lot of feedback from it, so I enjoy that. So thank you for the crowd that joins and asks questions. And we had some before the show questions, I believe, that I'm going to answer. Let me make sure I've got them coming in. But I wanted to say that tonight we're going to talk about policies that you need and onboarding processes that you need to set the example early, set it straight, and then manage by it and guide by it. And I will tell you that I was in a meeting this morning, and one of my friends in the BNI group said that he was working a lot extra. He has a pressure wash company, and he was working a lot extra because two guys didn't show up, and two guys that run one of his trucks didn't show up. And I know that feeling, man. When you're a smaller company and you have, it's you and maybe one other truck, or you and a helper, or you and maybe two trucks, that you really need those people. When they don't show up, it just adds a ton more work onto your shoulders, right? It's just the worst. I cornered him, or he was coming out to his car. I said, man, I got to tell you, that used to happen to me. I understand what that is. And there's kind of a simple fix to that. It doesn't fix everything, but especially after a holiday weekend, when everybody is doing their thing, they don't want to come in on, and the guys had a paid off Friday, which my team did too. But a simple policy, it's in our attendance policy. I'm going to talk about our attendance policy tonight, if that interests you. But our policy says that if you miss the day before or after a paid holiday, and it's an unexcused absence, you do not get that pay. And that really, I just had that happening all the time to us. When we'd have a holiday, there's always somebody that wanted to extend it by a day. And then it causes everybody in the team, and at the time when I was the team, it caused me to work a lot more than I had planned, and because I had other things to do. And now this guy or these guys don't show up, and now you're working a lot. And his point was, I made $1,200 that day working by myself, so that's pretty good. I said, it is good. And sometimes you just got to do it. You've just got to do whatever it takes to get the customer taken care of, get the money in, get the paycheck, get the bills paid. Doesn't matter if they show up or not. You got to do the work, and that's totally understandable at a certain size business for sure. And at any point you can be, on high, but then all of a sudden be brought back into it. Now, I'm not saying that. I mean, if that happens, that's just business. But if it's happening all the time, there's policies, procedures, systems that can be in place that will stop or greatly reduce that from happening, and consequences when it happens. And I was just going through my book because I'm getting ready to do a big podcast series on it and some video series on it. But, in one of the chapters, it is what you tolerate becomes the standard. And, a mistake I'd made early on was, if you had a good excuse, then I accepted it for not being here. Car trouble, kid was sick, every single reason you've heard of, and some you haven't. If you gave me an excuse, what was I going to do? Not believe you, call you a liar, tell you you're lying to me without real proof? I don't have proof you have car problems. I don't have proof that your grandmother's not sick. I don't have any of this proof, but now I've got to be the bad guy because I've got to judge your story. And I found a process that makes me stop judging stories completely. I don't care what your story is. And because if you do care what their story is, and they learn that you care what your story is, they will tell you better stories. They just tell you the stories that don't get you in trouble, or they're stretching it in a way that you'll believe, versus the truth is, man, I couldn't get out of bed. Man, I didn't feel like coming in. Like, in my world, my policy now, the greatest story and maybe the real thing that happened or the truth where you just didn't come in, they all have the same consequence because it's a no fault policy. I don't really care what it is. Unless you called for time off, you're getting points against you. Now, points against you isn't being fired. You've got a process of points that build up and points that go away. But you have I don't really have to judge your story, and you don't have to lie to me, and you don't have to go to the doctor and get an excuse and, tell them that you've had life threatening, cough. I don't want you to have to spend time in a doctor just to cover your lie, or cover your reason for not coming in. Life happens. Things really happen. So, one of the most important policies I ever put in place, well, first of all, policies, I didn't want to be the bad guy, right? And I thought policies made you have a less of a good place to work. Like too many policies, too corporate, sucks to work here. So in this chapter, I wrote a note that said, tolerance is leadership failure. Like when you have to tolerate something that you know is wrong and you do tolerate it, that's the new level. And people, I don't believe people are just bad to begin with, but they're still human and they push the thing. They push getting there on time. They push, are you going to do something about this or that you think's important? They will push it. It's just human nature. And if you don't have a line that's very clear, and when they go over it, they know here comes the consequence, and you don't do it the first time, and here comes the consequence the fourth time they did it, all of a sudden everybody is confused and mad. The way to do policies is very clear from the beginning, and when you see it happen, you immediately do something about it, or there is a consequence. For me, I had to make policies the bad guy. Basically we created certain policies. Now, not too many policies, but one of them was clear, was an attendance policy. And we read it. And I've told this story a lot because it's been the best policy I ever put in place because I started having an attendance problem. And the main thing that happened was when somebody would call out and I didn't know it, it would just create a lot of extra stress on my team. It would create extra stress on my customer service people because they had to call everybody and say, got to reschedule. The helper or the apprentice didn't have anywhere to go. He was all of a sudden stranded. And my customers were mad, and my office staff was just crazy and then the people who were at work got punished because then they got all the work from that guy calling out, right? And so it was just time. I was just having too much Monday chaos. Monday was the worst day because people would call out. So here's how the policy works. And I won't go into total detail because it's better to show, a screen, or I can, if you want this policy, please send me a note. I shouldn't have I ate the salad with cucumbers and everything. And I shouldn't have eaten that right before this show, but I will send you this policy. If you'll email me, mark@ashbusters.net, and say policy, attendance policy, I'll send it to you. But as I usually say, hey, I hope to get comments. I've learned that I don't see all the comments till afterwards. I only see comments that come through the SureFire website or SureFire Facebook, but hopefully if you guys are on that, send me a comment. But on the policy, what I did basically, I learned it from, I'm not sure where it came from. It came from another chimney company that I was in a mixed group with. And it was a 24-point policy. So basically you start off with 0 points. If you get 24 points, you're terminated. And there's all kinds of levels in between 0 and termination. So I'll tell you basically how it works. Since it's a no fault policy, I don't really care about your story. If you miss a day of work for any reason, you get 3 points against you. So it accumulates over time. And if you're late, 0 minutes to 18 minutes, that's 1 point against you. And if you're late more than 18 minutes, but under an hour, that's 2 points. And if you those are the main points that people get is they call out, they get points. And there's some exceptions. One is if you are in a proven car wreck when you come to work, you can have a police report. But car trouble and all the reasons, sick, and even if you go to the doctor, you still get points. You don't continue the points every day. If you're out and you're out multiple days, it doesn't keep adding up on you. But the first day, and you're supposed to call in, and if you're going to miss more than one day, but those build up over time. And so it rolls over every year. So let's just say it's July and you missed 2 days this month and we're late another day. So in our world, that is 7 points, right? 2 missed days and a late. So it's 7 points. This time next year, next July 1st, all the points that you gathered in July go back to zero. You get them, they go away. So let's just say through the year you had 16 points, but 7 of them were in July. Boom, July goes away and you're back to 9 points. And it accumulates that way. So it comes on and goes off by the year, and we do it on an Excel spreadsheet. Pretty simple, really. If you no call, no show us, that's 12 points. That's half of your life. So if you've already got more than 12 points and you no call, no show, you're terminated. And there is, like, if you leave the work early, there's points for that too, like 1 to 2 points. If you leave early without having your, for any reason really. And there's some people that love to end the day early, call their last appointment, not do it or something like that. So there's points that go up that way. But if you're not sick or late for a month, I give you a point back. And so there have been people for me that worked for me for years that never have gained any points. And so in this process, if you have 3 points or less at the end of the year, you get a day vacation. And then if you have, you go in the negative, right? So if you're never sick or late, so if you go 6 months and you're never sick or late, that's 6 points to the good. So you're -6. In our world, 3 points to 0 to 3 points is a day. And then every 3 negative is another day. So you can really basically get an extra week of vacation if you're never sick or late for the year. The reason I do that is just to get rid of the chaos. If this guy shows up every day and never has a problem, I can depend on that. I can have a lot of peace in my business with people who show up every day. So I'll tell you the fault I made with it, which was right off the bat. I started when I did this probably 8 years ago or so, 9 years ago, first time. The normal people that were missing were getting points, and they didn't care because there'd never been a consequence before. And here they come getting points. And so we give you a warning at 12 points. You're halfway through. Everybody's going to have some points through the year, so that's fine. But once you get 12, you get a warning. Hey, you're halfway through your points. Just be aware. And then at 18 points, you get another warning. 21 points, you get a final warning. And at 24 points, you are terminated. So, but I didn't really, the first time this was happening, I had a lot of people getting a lot of points, but some of them were my favorite people. Like helper, been with me since he was a kid, good helper, a good worker. And he would tell me the truth. He's like, he would tell me why he wasn't at work, but he was getting points. I said, man, you got to be here. You're going to get fired. And him and 2 other guys were just blistering through it. And this wasn't working. So when 24 points hit, I didn't fire them because one, it was right in the middle of busy season. I needed them. And then I just couldn't fire them. I just couldn't get it in my mind to fire some of my good guys that were causing me this kind of problem. I would just navigate in my mind that it's okay. I mean, we'll get through it, or they'll stop doing it, which is a really false. So then I had so many people blow past 24 points. I think at the end of the 1 year, one guy had 56 points. So I told the guys, I said, hey, I've messed this up. I'm going to start over. We're going to start at 0 points again for everybody. We're just going to wipe the slate clean. But I promise you that you will be fired at 24 points. And I do not want to do this. Please, please, please don't make me do this. But you have to be fired, or the policy doesn't work. If you do not abide by your own policy, it's not a policy. And then if you don't abide by it one time and you want to abide by it again, you can't, you can wind up in a lawsuit because this person didn't have the consequence, but this person does. So you have to abide by the policy. Once you know, you have to do something as a leader. But we here we come again. He's getting the points. I'm giving him the warnings. I said, I'm not joking, man. You got to be here. You're going to get fired. You're going to. So sure enough, 12, he got right at October. He got September, right when I needed him the most. He hit his 24 points and I let him go. And this guy actually was a good helper, but not great, but he was good. But he's like our best helper, our apprentice now. And I fired him. And his mother called me pissed, thought I was a better person than this and all these things. And my guys are like, man, please bring him back. Hey, man, I know he didn't come, he was a problem getting here, but once he was here, he's awesome. And everybody loved him. I'm like, I can't, dude. I told you what's going to happen and you're going to get fired. Well, not 2 weeks after that, a senior guy had been with me like 8 years. I had to fire him. And it was like, whoa. And then that year, I had fired 5 people right at busy season. And everybody then understood that this was real and that when firing, people started getting there more on time, getting there early. And I never brought any of them back for attendance. And that one hard year with it has made us have very good attendance since. Now, I fired one time my best mason. He was my highest paid employee and my best mason for no calling me, no showing me, and then just one other issue he did. But I've had to fire my best people sometimes, but it helps the entire team, especially the good people. This policy is not for you, and it's to protect your good people, the people who do show up, the people who do ask for the time off and take it and don't surprise you. All those people are looking at you and what you do in these moments. And when you do the wrong thing by them, what's stopping them from doing the wrong thing? What's stopping them from coming in late? Everybody else does, so I can. What's causing me just to call out when I want, so I can. So that policy I have, and you should adjust it to your company. A lot of people have taken it and used it, but it's been the single best policy I ever wrote to make chaos go away in my company. And so I hope that's helpful. A lot of people say I couldn't do that, but you can do it. And you better be ready for consequences. There'll be good. If you've got a attendance problem that's happening, just because you wrote this piece of paper or read, this is what we do, and you say we're going to do this, doesn't mean it's going to change anything. What affects people are consequences. It either has to be warnings, write-ups, firings, or financial, problem, like financial consequences. If you don't do the entire process, you don't make all your money. Like, one of the easy ones is if you don't do the process that you need to do, you don't get paid all the money. We're on a percentage. So basically, let's just say it's 15%. That 15% includes all the stuff, the paperwork, the communication, doing the job well, all the things. And if you don't do part of the job, like you don't get the pictures or you don't write the report right or the estimate, or you don't do something, and in my world, I can take money from you. And most of the time, whenever we do have to reduce commissions, it's because of a glaring mistake, like some type of a misbid, or most of the time I don't reduce commissions because of workmanship, but sometimes the workmanship's not great and they have to go back and fix it at no charge. So I don't take their money away from them, but in a way I do, because you got to go fix it for free if you messed it up. Or, we had a tuck point job the other day that this guy does great tuck pointing for us, but he mismatched the mortar and he didn't quite do the scope of work that was on the work order. And so customer call said, I thought, all this part was included, and he only did this part, and then it rained on it. So it got messy. He didn't, we've had a lot of rain lately, and it flashed thunderstorm on him, and it was under a thing, but the wind blew and it messed his mortar up. So he's got to go back out and redo it, but he's got to do it for free. He's going to have to spend a whole day redoing it all, because I will be with them if there's a legit problem and they couldn't get around, or it was unforeseeable. But when you mismatch the mortar, don't do the scope of work on the paperwork, and you claim that you did it all, you're lucky you don't get fired. So he got a warning and he's going out there to do it for free. But um, that's kind of how the commission part works. But you you pay your commission or any of your policies just have to be followed. Again, I'm going to repeat it again that you what you tolerate is the standard, not what you say. What you say, let's just say another easy one that happens a lot that people mess up and a lot of owners say it's okay is safety. Like if you've got a safety program and you say you've got to wear the helmets and you've got to tie off and you've got to do the safety things, you got to wear PPE when you're grinding and you got to have the grinder guards on and the things, and then you don't enforce it, then that's actually the standard is Mark doesn't care about safety. We have SureFire platform. And if you say, hey, you've got to do SureFire, but you don't enforce it and you don't force them to get their CEUs and go through the program, then that's the standard, is that he won't do anything about it. But if the standard is you have to do SureFire, you don't get to progress in my company and you stay here, or you get a price reduction, or you get fired, or something like some kind of consequence. That's some of the easy policies I have is onboarding, coming on, you got to do these things, safety and attendance are big policies. Now, of course, we have employee handbooks and things that you've got to sign off on. I'm going to show you here in a little bit our onboarding process. One of the questions I got, I'm trying to find the questions. Let me just see if they can resend them to me. There were some questions from tonight. Let me see if she can send that to me so I have them in front of me. Bree. So one of them was, how do you onboard people? Can you send me the questions? Questions from tonight. So one of them was onboarding. I'm going to go ahead and show you kind of what we use to bring people on. And we're actually getting ready to update it. And I'm going to show you why. So let me get this screen up. Share screen and my Connect team and share. All right. So in this case, make sure you can see it. So, yep, you can see it. So what this is a program called Connect Team. And I want to show you what that looks like. So if I go to users, this is just all of our people that are on it. It has chat, it has updates, directory, forms, courses, and that we have. Knowledge base is pretty good. It's where we have all of our vendors and insurance claim stuff. And if you wreck the car, and pricing sheets, licensing and permits, all the stuff is there for whenever anything is needed. We got a lot of OSHA safety docs, our MSDS sheets are on here, all those things, and it's on everybody's phone. So it's an app basically. But two of the things it does is I'm going to show you how we built this course, and now they've actually they fixed it. This is our Nashville onboarding course. So when you come on with my company, we take you through onboarding. And this is videos from each of us in the company welcoming people on. And we're getting ready to redo this whole thing because we did this a couple years ago and we're getting ready to update everything on here. I'm going to bring on a person I'm working with to help us really get the most of it as a guest one day so you can see it. But basically, when we onboard you, there's a video from me, a video from our project manager, production manager, safety training, person in charge of HR, person in charge of their paycheck, how to get onto SureFire, sign you up on SureFire, our attendance policy, which I was talking about, 401k link. We just changed 401k. So my HR said this needs to be updated. And our employee manual, the entire manual is on here. And so then that's the very first part of the onboarding. But then also we then take you on to into a 2-week onboarding process. But I'll show you kind of what this looks like. Play it. I might have to go to a different setting. I'll go to user view. And so in this case, you would see me saying, hey, welcome to Ashbusters courses, Nashville onboarding. Here's a video. Hello and welcome to Ashbuster's Chimney Service. I'm the owner, Mark Stoner. I just wanted to say congratulations. We're excited to have you. And if you've made it this, so it talks about the company, then you meet different technicians, different people, and it tells everybody what we do and what's expected from you from these different people that do different roles for us. Bryson is our safety guy, and he's going to be the main one working with them when you come on board with us. But and then like on the attendance policy, I just told you, but here's our attendance policy. When you go through it and you hit next, that was that. But at the bottom of the policy, there's a place for you to sign it, and you can agree. And if you build a form in here, you can have them sign on the form. This is, our 401k. We just switched from Vanguard to Ascension. And then our employee manual is the whole manual is on here, and a place for them to sign is on here. So that is step one on onboarding people. And do I have any questions? Let me stop this real quick. Do I have any questions from anybody on that? I'm not seeing comments tonight, so something is a little off, but so then when we bring you on, we assign you with a trainer, and his name is Bryson, and you saw him on here. But what he does is we take you around, and then we get you on this Connect team, and we get you to see the onboarding, watch the videos. And then Bryson just starts to take you down the SureFire apprentice step one. And if you look at our system, you know that has a lot to do with safety. We go real heavy on safety at first, and then we move through chimney one-on-one. We take them out in the field for a while. We come back, and we work very hard to get them through all of the apprentice steps as the onboarding process. So what I used to do is, if you came to work for me, I just pretty much put you out in a van. You came to work for me today. Okay, ride with whoever, ride with this person. And that, we call that big dog, little dog training. And we would just put you out in the field and hope you learned it. If you're around enough, you'll learn it. And a lot of people still use this training process. I can tell you though, that the biggest companies don't train this way. The really big companies, if you want to have one, they don't do this. They have some of the best training, either sales, technical, and all that together of anybody. The better you train, the better your company will be. And consequently, the better the company is, the more opportunity you have to grow if you want to. And again, there's some great small companies out there for sure. And big doesn't necessarily mean bad, but also doesn't necessarily mean good. Like you can have a big and great company. You can have a small and crappy company. So there's size doesn't matter, but what really matters is leadership and what they've put in place and what they expect, and then what they have consequences for. So that, I was going to show some other things on Connect Team. Just if you're interested in this, I can send you a link and get you on it, but I'll show you some new things that they've brought on board. Let me get out and go to admin. I'm going to show you a little video that's kind of cool for what they've got coming. So let's go to onboarding. So I think they've got a video. Where's that video? Oh, we started. Let me see if it's on hiring. No, we started, so the video goes away. Let me see if I can find, onboarding video. Well, I just looked at these yesterday, but they weren't, they were on here. So once you start down the program, that goes away. So I'm going to check one thing more. Connect Team onboarding video. And I think you'll see exactly what I mean. This is, I really like this quite a bit. Okay, let's see if we can, is this it? Nope. That was not it. I'm sorry, I'm losing my groove here. Maybe This, oops, this is advertisement. All right. So we had built that. We had built that ourselves on another platform. Hopefully, you could see that. I'm not sure if you could. Hopefully, that was on your screen. I do want to show you one other thing about hiring, which is the same thing that they have. It's pretty cool because I know that's it's a problem for everybody. Use different platforms to do that, but Connect Team Hiring Video. Let me just see this real quick if I can get this on here. Yeah. Is this it? That's hiring. Connect Team. That's in YouTube. Not seeing it on here. But again, this program has, let me just hiring. Yeah, I'm not going to find it in a timely manner. Yeah. So basically, again, this is how we onboard people. This is how we bring people on. This is how we keep them engaged and keep them involved. So a couple, just to recant, you need policies. You got to write them. You're not the bad person for writing them. You got to have a path for the people to be on. And I use Connect Team and other leadership tactics to keep people on. I went searching today for vans. We've got to add 7 vans this year. And pretty soon we're going to have probably a fleet managed fleet program, but I still buy vans. Bart Ogden was a friend, he's a friend of mine, and he knows that I used to be like addicted to $5,000 white vans. Like I just saw them as little money makers. They were cheap. It's what I could afford, and I could get a guy in it. We could start making money. I just loved $5,000 vans sitting, for sale on the side of the road. Now, we're spending $30,000 to $40,000 a van, and we've got to buy 7 of them. So, I got to spend $250,000 on vans in this next couple of weeks. So I was out looking at vans. I still buy used vans. I still don't buy new. I still buy, something 2023. The oldest is probably 2021, 2022, maybe. I guess maybe a 2020, but that is probably as old as I get in lower miles. And so then we get certain kind of vans and wrap them. But, I was out there today, and I need to buy 7 or 8 vans this year because we're adding that many staff. Well, that's not by accident. That's not luck of the draw. You're just growing luckily. It's a completely planned process. It's a completely planned for process. So we have the people ready to grow now. We just have to get the everything that's needed for them to be welcome to the team. Yeah. So again, the question that was for Eli Norris, if he's watching, that part was for him about what does a new hire onboarding process look like? And I hope that was helpful. I think it's very important. When I watch the best companies, they have a true onboarding process, and it really sets people's minds up for success, and that this is a serious company, and that I have room to grow here, and I know what everybody's talking about and what's expected of me, and where do we go from there? Hey, so thank you. So that's again, took a while to develop that. And I'm Eli, I'm not sure if you use Connect Team, but this is again what we're getting ready to build out on onboarding, and this is how this is the default pack that they've kind of already built, and this is this is our hire that we just hired. Jack Diller got hired yesterday or 2 days ago, and he's going to be our new technician going through this. And this is what he's to fill out. And it looks like you can we edit the pack. And then in this case, oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Let me go back to this. Share screen, Connect Team. So let me go back to what I was showing you. So this is our default pack when I clicked onboarding, this is our new guy. And then he starts I can edit this pack, and I can add, the user details, what profile picture, it stays with him, all the different details for bringing him on board, the documents, so we need to add the documents. And a lot of times it'll tell you existing documents, which is W-4, driver's license, government docs. You can add all those, or new document that you've got. Here's where you put all your policies in. And they've got some default stuff in here, but then you've got also pay rules, working hours, schedule rules. You can put it all in here, and then tasks, things that you want them to complete before if you're here, we'll put SureFire onboarding, we'll put safety onboarding, and we'll build out this pack. But we literally just started using this a couple days ago because it's brand new, and we are going to improve this. On the hiring side, basically, this is what we started working on, which is, the application review. So all the applications get dumped. We send them, it says open link available right here. I can then send you this link as a candidate. You will fill this out. It will drop all of your information into this aggregator. And then we have all of your stuff to then do a screening call, do an in-person interview, reference check, make an offer, say we hired, say you rejected, or if they withdraw, and we can control the whole process right here. And so that's pretty exciting. It's just part of the program. Some people ask how much this is. I'll kind of show you the pricing because it's really kind of cheap. In this case, on the operations, it has time clock, form, schedule, quick task. I've got the expert version, $119 a month. After 30 users, it's $5 per month, but most people would never, it's $119. And then if you want the communications, which is a chat, surveys, knowledge base, and these events, which is pretty helpful, I've got the advanced, and then it's $1.80 a month over 30. And then HR, which is where you're going to use this a lot, which is the hiring. It's going to be the all the hiring and the onboarding and all that. Rewards is pretty cool, where you can send people rewards, celebration, your org chart lives here, send recognition. And so it's really book time off too when people want time off. So I'll show you, compare all features on this part. So on I'm on the advanced level. In this case, you can have 9 policies, and you can have unlimited. In this case, there's just a few more things that you can do differently in each one with more, when you pay more money, of course. And then you can cancel at any time too. So there's no penalty or long contracts like there are with some software. So I hope that's helpful. So thoughts on KRAs. I'm not sure what a KRA is, Eli. Help me. What is a KRA? I'm sure I'll have a thought on it as soon as I know what it is. I'll do a quick search if you're typing. What is a KRA? I'm not sure what that is. Okay, what is a KRA? Maybe you're typing. Chat GPT, my fave. What is a KRA? Oh, key results areas. Okay, so I would, so a lot of times we call that KPIs, so key performance indicators. So key results area, I'd be interested to know if you're talking about production, or if you're talking about like training, what results. I believe that. So so yeah, hey John. So my thought is I don't really use them in that way. My key results areas are, if I'm looking at what I'm thinking, and maybe I'm misunderstanding how you use them, but we are commission-based company. So your results are, basically we use the what was it called? The net performance indicator, the NPI, uh, NPS, net performance score. And we used that for a very long time, which showed the customer experience with us, the technician, and it's a very simple survey, which said basically, will you recommend us will you recommend this company to your friends, family? And it was a 1 to 10 scale. And if you got below a 5, that was a detractor. If you got a 6 or 7, that was 6, 7, or 8, that was net negative or net neutral. And then a 9 or 10 is the only thing that was positive for you. And so we really tracked that a lot, and we rewarded people on those results. If you had a very positive MPS score, we did that. We stopped doing that recently, but we basically pay on performance. We pay, and everybody has goals, and the goals are what we focus on helping you with or helping you achieve. And then obviously internal goals, which are like, well, your reviews, Google reviews, and then also, but I think that's how we do it. I don't know that. If again, right now we're on a growth path, so my key result area ends up being the closed sales number, and then also the follow-up attempts that you've done. We watch follow-ups very closely. And the other thing we're going to work on is our job average is a key result area. I would say I don't have Service Titan up right now, but actually I'll try to pull it up for you and show you. Maybe this is going to be helpful. Service Titan. And probably should hide some of my internal numbers, but whatever. Let me see. I don't need the demo. I need the login. So, I will show you some of our numbers that we look at quite a bit. The other thing I look at is the marketing side. Oh man, don't make me do this. I'll sign in. I watch the phone calls coming in, and I can really gauge the company. Let me just go back to this Service Titan, sign in. They've done this new, well, there we go. They've done this new software like thing that I absolutely hate now. I got to have a verification code. All right, here's the verification code. It is 612074. All right, so it's going to be my dashboard. Let me just get you so you can see my screen, which is here. Share screen. Not one, remove. All right, so here's my here's what we watch is our trends, our revenue. And so in this case, last month we were up 8%, and I'm watching these things, but here's more like what you're talking about. So this was for today. We had 32,000 sales. Our average ticket today was 4640. Completed revenue is 31,000. This is what we really watch is average job ticket, which is 916. That's up for us. It's normally, I will show you on an average, it's more like 700. Let's go 90 days. So actually that's been trending up. So I just showed you 858 over 90 days, so our average ticket is definitely going up. And so this is some of our call booking rates, conversion rates. So that is some of the things I look for. Clearly, customer satisfaction is a big thing that we have to have. You know, these technicians have 100% satisfaction with customers, with, you know, all these appointments. In 90 days he's done 167 appointments, and he has a 99% opportunity conversion rate. Has converted jobs into making money, and he's got a great rating. He's very good at upsales on the spot. Now these guys up here are repair crews, so their average ticket is always a lot more because they're doing the biggest job. This guy is a service tech, he's in gas, and you'll see the money changes with the different roles because they have different amounts. So hopefully that is what you mean. Yes, but again, average job is probably my number one, and then my average. This is my average job, and this is my average ticket when we do a repair. I think this is low. I've seen some companies that have, you know, 10,000 here or 8,000, double what we have. So this is a number I want to get up. That average job right here is really pretty good for us. Another number I watch a lot is cancellations, and I'm really working on fixing this. I hate this number. It means they called us, they booked us, and then they canceled after we, you know, were scheduled to be out there. I'll show you a program that I use to watch this. It's called lace.ai. And let me see if you can see this screen real quick. No, you can't see that, so stop sharing that. Let me show you Lace real quick. I've shown it before. I love this AI stuff. Oh, you left a message. So let me go back and read that. I would think it would be used more for the office staff. Not real sure. Would love to implement something to let them know how they're doing. Could even be a scorecard. So let me show you. This may be very helpful for you right here, which is Lace. It's our AI agent. Let's just go to the dashboard. So this is, where is my, these are how many calls we had coming in. These are, this is total calls. This is how many we decide were qualified, and this is how many are booked. This is what I'm really looking at, is the success rate. We had a target of 80, and we're getting above 84. When we first set that target, I'm going to reset it now. That's probably 85, but we were about 78 when we first started, and now we're up to 84. Watching this cancellation rate. This is for let's just change the date here today. So today we had 2 cancellation calls, which I hate, but they happen. Our booking rate was amazing today. We are 91% booking rate for the day, which means we were absolutely hitting. We took 95 calls, decided 33 of them were actually, the software does this, and we booked 30 out of 33 phone calls. We know what people say they need time to decide, which is weird. You would call us and now you need time to decide, this isn't a true what it is. It's some other reason. Service fee concerns always, you know, if you're an expensive company, you're going to say, I'm going to find it cheaper other place. We don't want every call. And then scheduling conflicts, you know, that was one of the calls today, but we had a good day today, and the girls watch this. We have this on a full screen. Let me see if I can show you how they see it. Oh, let me just go back to this. So this was what I love about this software is it has qualified unbooked, meaning today we had 3 calls that by all things, we should call them back and see. Customer needs time to decide. That's going to get a call back. Service fee concern, scheduling conflicts. It's saying, hey, this is a hot lead. You should call them. You can take that off, and there's other hot leads as well. It has a pretty cool follow-up process. Here's ones that you should follow up, and we do follow up with everybody. This is just today. So we follow up a lot and call people back, and these are for review. If something we need to review, we go through. Somebody does it every day. So we have no calls to review today, but our AI agent is pretty good. I'll go back to the dashboard, And in this case, let me go back to calls, performance. Oh, this is kind of cool too. Revenue flows. So it's going to show you how much money my AI agent, let's just say we're going to show from June. Let's go from May. We started, I think, around May till today. Apply. This is how much money he's booked on his own. It cost me basically $700 a month for this person, and this isn't even all the real revenue. That's just the booked revenue of a service. We all know that when you get out there, you add more work to it. So this is just the revenue he booked. He's got a 60% booking rate, which I'll take that. I'll take that all day long. From instead of your voicemail, which has no booking rate, this he can book, or you can leave a voicemail. But this is a revenue flow part that shows where the money could be recovered. Let's see. Let's see if I can see my other dashboard. Quick filter. So that's basically, the girls watch this. They have we have this up on a big TV in the call center, and they really want this success rate. So over the last 90 days or so, we've got an 84% closing rate. But you can see the calls that got scraped off that were not real calls, that the AI takes care of a lot of those, but that's kind of how it works. Hopefully that is helpful. Pretty in-depth. That dashboard is amazing. Thank you. How many different softwares are you running? So we run ServiceTitan, which has QuickBooks. We're actually going to switch to a new program, and so are you guys, Eli. You're going to switch to a accounting software called Sage. I run Connect Team, which is my inner connectivity for all my technicians and people. It's how we communicate, how we talk. There's a lot of softwares out there. We do rewards through it. We do all kinds of things through Connect Team. And then we do Lace for our call center, because one of the things that to optimize a company is the call center. Like when we started listening to ourselves talk, and I almost lost my mind at first. What they were saying, or how many calls we were losing, or if a customer calls and said, "Yeah, I'll call back," we did nothing with it. We never followed back up. If we got an online form, we never followed up. But this really helped us. So again, back to your question: ServiceTitan, QuickBooks, Connect Team, Lace, and then we use Company Cam too. We use Company Cam for all of our picture gathering, AI walkthroughs, coordination for jobs. So those are them. I wish it all didn't. I think ServiceTitan is doing a lot of this AI answering. I just liked Lace a little bit better than what ServiceTitan had. But you got to use a lot of software for, to be a great service company, and to keep up with everything, and to do the best you can. Because these advertising, this cost me a lot of money to get that phone to ring. And I will show you this too, playbook score. Let me see if I can, for some reason, all locations. I'm not seeing my dashboard like I normally do, because there's a way. This will tell you too where the most coaching opportunities. So Ashton, he's my AI, and here's what he gets: objections, immediate service unavailability. Guess why? People are calling at night or on the weekends or on holidays when he's answering. So, service availability concerns, I can open that up, and I can listen to a customer saying that we were, too high or whatever. In this case, this person's qualified, and he did 80. We've got a playbook that he follows, and all the girls follow, and that's how they're judged on, if it was a good call or not. But that's what we look at. Again, most coaching opportunities, we've got really good staff answering the phone, but you can open it up. Let me see if I can find it. Here's where we should focus more on: empathy. And what it's saying is you need to use their name more. Anthony probably should use more, more empathy. So let's just see what it says about her. This is the highest need. And then you can go back and listen to her calls. I'm not finding the right button right now that shows the playbook that it makes for you. So what it does is, go back to team. It will, here's full screen. Here's what they see every day. So this is on a big screen in the call center, and they can see, how they're doing, and, what our rates are. And this is one of those indicators that you said that you would be interested in showing the team how they book, because you spent a fortune in getting that phone to ring. So I think that hopefully that was helpful. That's how I do it. I'm always open to learn. If you guys have other things that should be looked at, I either am looking at it in one way, or maybe I'm just not aware of something I really need to look at. But calls coming in are a big one. Let me just show you this real quick, and I'll in this call, which is, I'll show you how many calls we get coming in, and then I'll show you how I gauge that, which is share screen, back to dashboards. Okay, so when I go to my marketing tab, this is all how everybody finds us and calls us, and the revenue from marketing, and the ROI on my marketing. But this is what I'm really looking at, is my performance chart on phone calls. And as you can see, every Monday is typically on. Let me just go back to a shorter time frame. Let's just go to today. Let's go to this week. You can see that Monday, let's go to the last couple of weeks actually. Okay, so last couple of weeks, you can see that typically the Monday is the busiest day. In this case, it was about the same. You can see how many people use online forms to book and never did talk to us. It was just all online. Today was a big online day for some reason. We had 4 people book and never talk to anybody. And, these are the total calls for the day. This is the middle of summer, so this is always our slowest time of year. If I make this date go out quite a bit, let's just go do custom date range. I'm going to go back to the beginning of the year so you can see kind of the flow that we watch for marketing. I'll put this in for January, apply this filter. And then let's look, you'll see how crazy the calls get for us in the fall. When it builds up this performance chart, and we build our marketing around it, we build our hiring around it. We really can understand that this is coming for sure. Everybody knows how busy they are, but do you really know exactly, what you need to do for it? It's taken a minute because I've given a lot of data crunch through real quick, but hopefully it's going to pop up. But you'll see, in the busiest time of year, so we might get 630 phone calls, in this week. So this is by the week, and you can see like our busiest time really this is our slowest time always. If you look at July, in the middle of July, like 1st of July, which is like the July 4th weekend, this is the worst, pretty much the worst weekend in chimney industry. The end of May, which is the Labor Day, and then July 4th. And then we go up from here. And we really watch this, and I really watch the marketing. And then, you die right at Thanksgiving, and then you die right at Christmas, and you build back up and we had a huge ice storm on this January, and had a record day of, 630 total phone calls that week. That's a lot for us. And then you can see it kind of drop back down, and here we are right now. So we're again back at the bottom. We had a few less calls this July 4th than we did last July 4th, which I don't like. We had like 20 less calls. But it's what it is. But hopefully that's helpful. This tells me where my money is spent. So in this case, our best campaign, which is Nashville branded. We got 302 leads from it. We booked 249 jobs. That's when they type our name in, we win the internet. This campaign has cost me $10,000. It's turned into about $165,000 in revenue. I will trade those dollars all day long. If I can spend $10,000, get 165, I will take it. In my world, it's got to be at least 10 times the cost. So in my world, it's a good campaign. If I spent 10,000, got 100,000. Now this one is my second best. This is a direct mail piece that I sent out for annual services. So this is time for your annual services. It's kind of like this. It's this size postcard, but it says annual service costs on it. And that's a great campaign. I spent $3,900 and it's returned $54,000 worth of work. And it cleaned up my annual. So you can see there's some that work well, some that don't work well. Surprisingly, this one, the summer sweep one didn't work that well. I spent 11,000 in it and it only returned 46,000 so far. So these are the numbers you need to run the company and make sure you're spending money where it needs to be. And then kind of, instead of doing a shotgun approach on marketing, you can really narrow it down to what works. But hopefully that was helpful. So Eli says, we are working with Power Selling Pros, getting a lot of good feedback from the ladies. So I guess that's a sales program. I've heard good things about those guys. So let me know how that goes. So yeah, that was a lot. We're right at an hour. Thank you guys for joining me. And I know we have joined from many different places, and thank you for that. We will be tomorrow's my birthday. So happy birthday, 59 years old. And my daughter said 59 and feeling fine. So I'll take that. So anyway, good luck with everything. Reach out to me, mark@ashbusters.net. If you need anything, I'd be happy to help you. And I'll be here next week. Talk to you soon.